my name is Jocelyn, and this is a video over complex fractions. Some of you are saying, oh, I hate fractions. Well, it's gotta get even a little bit more difficult because complex fractions means they're complex. But if you don't know how to add, subtract, multiply, or divide fractions, then you need to go and watch those videos first because this gets a little bit deeper. You're gonna have to know how to add, subtract, or multiply depending on what the complex fraction looks like. For example, this complex fraction is 2/5 plus 1/4, and that's our numerator. And then it's over 1/2 plus 1/3. So it's 2/5 plus 1/4 over 1/2 plus 1/3. And that's why it's called a complex fraction, because fractions are within our numerator and fractions are within our denominator as well. So what you have to do is you have to simplify the numerator and you have to simplify the denominator before doing anything else, okay? So we're going to do that. So the first thing you're going to do is add 2/5 plus 1/4. And again, if you have trouble adding fractions, go and watch that video. We're going to find the common denominator. And here the common denominator would be 20. And then we're going to create that equivalent fraction. So 5 times 4 gave me 20, so 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 5 gave me 20, so 1 times 5 is 5. Then we're going to add these. 8 plus 5 is 13 over 20. So we have 13 over 20 for our numerator. So check, we simplified our numerator. Now we're going to do the same to our denominator. 1/2 plus 1/3. So our common denominator there is 6. 2 times 3 gave me 6, so 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 2 gave me 6, so 1 times 2 is 2. And then we're going to simplify that. 3 plus 2 is 5, 6. And so here's our numerator simplified. Here's our denominator simplified. So we can rewrite our complex fraction now because we're simplifying it. But there's still a problem, because we still have a fraction within the numerator and we still have a fraction within the denominator. We can't have fractions within our numerator or our denominator. We have to simplify it. Now, how many of you remember that fractions are just division problems? Okay, so really what we have here is a fraction division problem. We have 13/20 divided by 5/6. Because 13/20 divided by 5/6. And again, if you remember how to divide, keep, change, flip, you have to do that. Again, if you need a refresher, go watch that video. 13/20 times 6/5 when you apply the keep, change, flip. And then we can multiply. Now, some of you know the cross reducing. I'm going to do that. 20 and 6 have a common factor of 2. So I'm going to divide them both by 2. And again, go watch the multiplication video. That'll teach you how to do it. And then I can multiply straight across. 13 times 3 is 39. 10 times 5 is 50. So we have 39/50 is our answer from this complex fraction to there. Okay, so it's really nothing different. It's just like mini problems in one. It's really nothing different than what you were doing with adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions, okay? Let's do one more. One more here. Okay, 2/3 minus 1/4 all over 4/9 plus 1/2. So here's our complex fraction. In the numerator, we have 2/3 minus 1/4. In our denominator, we have 4/9 plus 1/2. So we're gonna simplify the numerator first. 2/3 minus 1/4 would be a common denominator of 12. So I just made equivalent fractions because they have a common denominator of 12. 8/12 minus 3/12. And remember, go watch the video. I'm going to just keep reminding you because if you're like, oh, I don't know how she did that, just go watch the videos of adding fractions. I promise it will click. Okay, 8/12 minus 3/12 would give you 5/12. So there's my numerator simplified. Now I'm going to simplify my denominator. 4/9 plus 1/2. Common denominator between those would be 18. And we did 8/18 and 4/18 because 9 times 2 is 18, 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 9 gives us 18. Oh, not 4/18. 2 times 9 gives you 18, so 1 times 9, I'm glad I checked myself, is 9/18, okay? So 8/18 plus 9/18 is 17/18. And that is my denominator. So I have my numerator and my denominator simplified now. So I'm going to rewrite my complex fraction. 5/12 over 17/18. And we remember that we can't have a fraction in our numerator or a denominator. So we have to simplify it by doing division because a fraction is just a division problem. 5/12 divided by 17/18. 5/12 divided by 17/18, and then we are going to 5/12 divided by 17/18, and then we are going to do keep, change, flip. So 5/12 times 18/17. 5/12 comes 18/17. I'm going to go ahead and cross reduce between 18 and 12. They both can have a 3, so 6, 4. So we have 5 times 6, which is, oh, I can even reduce even more than that. So I can do 2. Oh, I could have done a 6. I can do 2, 3. Can even reduce more than that. 12 and 18 have 6 in common. I could have cross reduce there. So now I can do it. 5 times 3 is 15, and 2 times 17 is 34. So we have our fraction 15ths over 34 reduced down from this complex fraction. And that's the video on complex fractions. Thank you. Bye.